Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to welcome you to the new and improved Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. After many years of interviewing the best and brightest thought leaders around the world on my SiriusXM show, I am excited to now have those interviews available to people around the globe on this podcast. So many people would write us and say, I love what I've been hearing about your interviews with these great people. Where can I access them? I live in this country or that country, or I don't have access to that technology. How can I get the information? Well, I'm so excited now that we are able to offer the information and the interviews free on this podcast. So we want you to sit back and enjoy this message and let me know how you like them. And then do me a favor. If you like them, send a review. Write a review and post it. And if you like it, hit like on here and share it. And tell everybody you know about it. And then subscribe to this podcast so you'll get the alerts when we post a new interview episode. Thank you for listening and enjoy the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast.
Named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world.
Inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame.
Award-winning singer.
Best-selling author.
And now, here's Willie Jolley.
Well, it's true. I only have a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it. Didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Oh, it's just a tiny little minute, but our eternities are wrapped up in it. Greetings to you, wherever you may be. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Wake Up and Win with Dr. Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show. Now, I've kind of combined all of the different shows into one because it's really the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show, but I'm going to give you a little bit of my Wake Up and Win with Dr. Willie Jolley that I am now on the Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell morning show with Wake Up and Win with Dr. Willie Jolley, and I'm adding that to the Wealthy Ways. How you like that? Well, I hope you're ready for some wealthy ways. Are you ready to grow to the next level? Are you ready to go to the next level? Are you ready to shine in every part of your life? Well, you know, I always start by that minute, God's minute, thanking God for every minute. And then I take a moment to actually thank God, to give him some glory, to thank him for life and strength and health. I don't take it for granted that I am here today. Some people were busy. They had things to do. They were going to make things happen. They had a schedule that they had already planned, but they did not wake up this morning. I am alive. I am here and I am grateful, and I give God glory for it. I give God glory for life and strength and health. I give God glory for being able to do what I do for a living and to try and impact people's lives. I am grateful for all of you who have written, have called, have reached out to say this show had inspired you, that this message that I share has impacted you. That's my goal. And so I am grateful. Please do me a favor. Keep sending me your thoughts, your ideas, your info, your insights, because I want to hear from you. It's info@williejolly.com. Info@williejolly.com is my email. Also, I want to talk to you about making sure that you live your best life each and every day. So make sure that you stay connected to me and you stay informed about what we're doing. You got to make sure you're on my newsletter. If you're not on my newsletter, you're missing the great information that I give out free. So to go to wjspeaks.com/gift, wjspeaks.com/gift. We give you a free gift to say, hey, just join our community because we want you to win. Now, one other thing we want you to know, that today is a special show. It's a tribute show, a show where we celebrate the great life and impact of a lady named B. Smith. I interviewed her about 10 years ago, and that interview had not been heard by the people who've been joining on in the last 10 years. Well, this is a show about a lady who went from being in a small city near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, become one of the first black models at Mademoiselle magazine, then on to TV, then on to entrepreneurism. She started a restaurant, then had her products in stores across America, and she became a global phenomena, a household name. How did she do it? Well, today you're going to learn how she did it. She's going to tell you from her mouth to your ears. Let's get ready for this incredible interview. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show with my special guest, B. Smith, and her husband, Dan Gasby, on how they became an empire and how you can learn from their lessons. Here we go. I'm excited because I've got some guests on who I have been waiting for a long time. Oh, y'all know these folks. Y'all know these folks. I don't care where you are in America. You're going to know these folks because these are make it happen, iconic people and figures in our community. I am very honored that my nephews, Noble Jr. and Nathan, play jazz music. They were the graduates of Peabody Conservatory, honors students, and they started their jazz career at this lady's restaurant and this gentleman's restaurant in Washington, D.C. at Union Station. The restaurant, for most people who know anything about fine food, is B. Smith's. And today I got the one and only B. Smith and her husband, Dan Gasby, on with me. Folks, how y'all doing?
We are great. How are you?
You know,
Well,
I am so glad and grateful to have both of y'all on. And we saw each other at the Black Caucus and at a couple other events over the years. And it's always a pleasure to see y'all with your smiling faces and just doing great things. And we're just so proud of all the things you've done. For those who don't know, the few people might not know, B. Smith and her husband, Dan, have created an empire in television, radio, and in hospitality and lifestyle. She is known as the queen of hospitality and lifestyle in the categories of television, radio, and in her restaurants. You want to go to a great eating experience. And Daryl, folks, my producer Daryl said, I gotta go. I keep hearing about it. I said, Daryl, I'm gonna personally take you over there because you got to have that swamp thing. You got to have swamp thing. You got to have that swamp thing.
There's nothing like swamp thing. It'll put some soul in your mouth, baby.
Woo, baby, that's it. But anyway, they have created as there. You see B on television. You see her on NBC Today. You see her all over. Tell us y'all's story real quick. Tell us where y'all started. How B, you started in modeling, and Dan, you started in television and production and sales and so forth. Tell us your story.
You know, it's been very interesting, and it's been a wonderful odyssey. My first career, and I loved being a model, but when I came to New York as a model, I already knew how to cook. Now, you know most models do not cook.
That's right.
They rarely eat, let alone cook. But I always loved entertaining, and I loved bringing people into my environment. And what I wanted to do when I opened the restaurant was to do this similar thing and just, spread the word that, hey, this is an establishment that all people can come to and feel good. The food was about great tasting food. The ambience was important to me. And, I always thought of myself as the producer, the director, the casting agent, and the featured character there.
And I got lucky because I get to watch her do all these things and help her achieve her goals. So we're a team.
Man, now y'all been together a long time. I mean, y'all have.
Well, we've been together 20 years, but in real time, we've probably been together more like 40 or 50 because when you think about it, we basically work 7 days a week and we're together. It's rare that we're not, in the same place or even the same room at the same time. So
we're together 24/7 almost.
I can witness that, and it's interesting. There are very few people who have that experience. My wife and I have that same experience. We're together 24/7. We work together. She's my CFO and as well as the president of my nonprofit. But it's something special about when you do that. It takes a real respect for each other and a affirmation that you just.
Well, Willie, the thing is, most people who are together, the question is, do they like who they love?
Say that again, Dan. That's powerful.
A lot of people love somebody, but they don't like the person. Or they love what they feel when they feel what they feel, but they don't like the person. Or the biggest thing that we know is that that it's not about ego, it's about how we go, you know? And so we work together as a team, but you got to genuinely like the person, you know.
You have to like and respect the person.
That is true. Let's talk for just a minute. We got just a few minutes. Let's talk about, before we get into this building business, let's talk about relationship, because I want y'all to share some of the pearls that y'all have. You've just said some that are great. So let's talk to people.
Well, let me tell you, our relationship is a 40-40 relationship. I get 40, he gets 40, 20 swings.
You know, in any great,
that's powerful.
Sometimes he gets it, sometimes I get it.
Well, you know, if you look at it like a business, and you know, if you and a business is basis on a partnership, you know, there's no such thing as a 50-50. You know, but if you've got 40-40 of something, you've got a major stake, but you don't have control. Neither one of us controls our relationship, and so you know, at times it goes to her, at times it comes to me, and so we've learned. And we watch some people, they have a 70-30 relationship, and the person who has the 70 wants 50% of the 30.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
And so it doesn't work. But we've never had a problem working with money with each other. We rarely, you know, we've had our arguments and disagreements, but we don't take them to bed, and we wake up the next morning. And, you know, when you're two passionate people, you always are not going to agree. But once we settle on something, we move as one.
But, you know, it's about respect. We respect each other, and we applaud each other.
Yep.
Oh, that's a big one.
It is.
It is huge.
I can say this to you, Willie. One of the greatest wastes in the history of American kind today is the inability of the African-American man to support an African-American woman in her dreams and quests. And sometimes, you know, it gets to a point where a guy feels like his masculinity is going to be questioned. You know, everybody can't be the star. You know, my wife is the star, and I'm the support to that star. My goal is to keep that star shining bright. Now, people will knock you for it, or people will come up to you and say, hey, so what's it like, you know, being Mr. Smith? And I go, pretty damn good.
And you know, Willie, he is the wind beneath my wings.
Yes.
You know, we are really a team.
I love this. Now, you know, if y'all were giving advice to some married couples who might be struggling, what would you say the secret to your marriage and your success as a couple is? Besides respect, besides understanding the support, what are some things that average person could do to... Never
going to bed angry.
Lust and trust. You got to have lust and trust.
Ooh, I love that. I love it. You're absolutely right.
Lust without trust will be a bust, and trust without lust is like dating your relative will turn to rust.
This is good stuff, because it's actually true, because a lot of people are struggling in their marriage. And, you know, tough economic times puts more challenge on relationships anyway. So having the not going to bed disagreeing, talking about everything.
That's right.
And being open to each other's ideas. I love that 40-40 and the 20 swings, because the way I said it, I wrote it in one of my books, that the greatest relationships is like a seesaw that constantly changes, that whoever loves more at that time is the one in power, and it should vacillate.
Absolutely.
And so that is fantastic. I love this. I didn't know we were going to go here, but this is exactly what people need to hear.
Wait a minute. You know, when we're with you, we never know where we're going to go till we get there, but when we get there, it's always a good place to be.
It's a good place to be.
But, you know, here's the other thing, and it's in the conversation we're having today. It's also about laughter.
Yes.
You know, you can't be too serious, and you can't make yourself crazy. You got to have fun, and you've got to have laughter and love in your life.
If you can't goof on yourself or you know, joke around or just have a good belly laugh at least once a day, you're missing one of the greatest gems in the world.
You're absolutely right. I think there was a statistic showed that said that people who laugh and have real belly laugh, they have an endorphin that is released that helps healing. And our Bible says that laughter is good medicine. And so y'all are absolutely right. Folks, y'all are listening to a power couple, Dan Gasby and the one and only B. Smith. The two of them, an incredible couple. We are talking about relationship, but we're going to talk about success. We're going to talk about entrepreneurism, and we're going to talk about how you can start to live your dreams, even in tough times. This is Willie Jolley across America on the
the Willie Jolley Show, and for sure, the best is yet to come.
We're listening to a special tribute interview and show that I did with B. Smith and her husband, Dan Gasby, over 10 years ago. You got to hear the rest of this interview. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
Afraid of flying, I always kept my dreams on the ground. Life had enough ups and downs, but Lord, since I met you, all that's changed in the blink of an eye. Now all my heart wants to do is fly.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered why some people can make $1 million, lose it, make a second million, lose that, then make a third million, while other people can't even make ends meet? Well, the reason is that those people know the recipe for success. And that recipe is available to everyone if you will do what they did. They made a habit of getting positive, motivational resources of great thinkers and great learners. And I want to offer those same kind of resources to you. We've developed a free page on my website. It's wjspeaks.com/gift. wjspeaks.com/gift. On that site, we've got resources, books, audios to help you to grow, and they're free. So go to wjspeaks.com/gift, wjspeaks.com/gift, and get some of those resources, and then share that page with your friends and your family members. We want to impact and inspire millions of people. And remember, if you enjoy this message on this podcast, like it, share it, and post a review about it, and make a difference in the lives of others by letting them know about it. Have a great day. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
A to the D to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. A to the T to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude.
And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to welcome you back to a special interview I did over 10 years ago with B. Smith and her husband, Dan Gasby, when they were at the top of their empire, where things were going like gangbusters. They had restaurants, they had television, they had radio, they had products in Bed Bath & Beyond and other stores. They were rolling. And how did they do it? That's what I want you to hear, because if you learn these principles, then you too can do incredible things. Remember this thought: methods are many, principles are few. Methods may change, but principles never do. Once you learn the principles, you can use the principles to do incredible things. Let's jump back into this interview with B. Smith and her husband, Dan Gasby. It will bless you. Here we go.
Never give up. Winston Churchill said it like this in a speech. He gave this simple speech, and it was one of the speeches that people remember him by. He said, never, ever, 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 ever give up, and walked away from the podium. And folks, that is a secret to success. Never give up. There are going to be challenges. There are going to be difficulties. There are going to be setbacks. But I believe a setback is a setup for a comeback. And I believe your best is yet to come. So you can never give up. Today's guests are people who never give up. They keep going after their dreams, and they have created iconic positioning in American lifestyle that people know the name, and they are in incredibly successful positions because they never give up, and they have a big vision, and they got some secrets that they're going to share share with you. You know her as B. Smith. Her name is Barbara. She was a model, but she became B. Smith and started a restaurant empire, as well as a television and a lifestyle empire, books, TV, radio. I mean, you name it, they're there. We're going to talk more about that. And her husband is the chairman of B. Smith Enterprises. He is a television producer. He is a executive. He's a brilliant man. We've developed a friendship, and I'm telling you, brilliant gentleman. Every time I talk to him, just a few minutes, I'm always inspired by the few ideas that he might just lay on me. He drops pearls just in a passing conversation. In fact, I saw him on a Mercedes-Benz commercial as well. This brother is making it happen. Dan Gasby and B. Smith, so glad to have both of y'all on.
We're always happy, Willie.
Hey, Willie.
Yes.
He drops pearls, and he also buys pearls.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
And I love wearing them.
I know that's right.
I have to keep Sweetie happy.
That's right. Happy wife, happy life. That's what I've heard.
That's right.
Well, you guys have done an incredible job of building a brand and building a whole iconic positioning in the marketplace. And you got not just the restaurants, not just television, radio, you got a lot of businesses. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about them?
You know, we're at Bed Bath & Beyond, and we've been there for since 2000, and we've got over 350 SKUs there. We started in bedding, and we moved throughout the store, and we're in so many different categories, from window treatment to rugs to doormats, to serveware, you name it. We have it, and it's exciting. But something that you said just a little while ago is, you can't give up. We tell people that we've stood on that mountain of no's for one yes. We've knocked on doors. We've had to go back and knock on them again, and then every now and then I have to put my foot in.
We look at life as most things. You never want to shoulda all over yourself. I should have done this. I should have done that.
Yep.
We go out and we go for it, and we only know ram speed. We don't test the waters and say we swam the English Channel. We jump in and go all the way across because my old man used to tell me. He said, "Boy, if you're swimming in the water and the water's over your nose and under your eyes, you still drown if you don't get to the other side."
That's right. That's right.
And Willie, there are days that are great days, there are days that are bad days, but we still get on up and we do what we got to do.
If we were, we would be like. We're a team, and we see something. It's almost like you're hunting, and you see it, and then you like lions chasing down a gazelle. That's how we look at our business or an idea that we're trying to develop. I mean, we stalk it, we analyze it. She may be up high, I may be down low, and then we meet at the prey. We look at it like that, and it takes stealth, it takes intelligence. We've always been honest. We won't do anything that would maim the brand. It's tough when you're a living shingle, and that's what she is. If somebody makes a bad drink, they don't say, Red Lobster is terrible. They go, B. Smith is terrible. So it's, and you're only as good as your people, but you do the best you can, and we're in the yes business. That's the biggest thing.
Oh, say that again. Say that again.
We're all of our businesses are really based on being in the yes business. We will try to make the best that we possibly can. We will listen, and we will adapt and adjust to get it better. We're not perfect, but we never give up, and we're always striving, to get to the finish line, and we keep moving that finish line back.
And we never stop learning and growing.
That's right.
Really important to us.
But I'm very proud of my wife because she has this unique ability to take very complex things and to break them down and to make them palatable so that anyone can understand it. The way she cooks, she can take complex dishes, like a souffle, and when you watch her do it, she talks about it being eggs and how to prepare it. When she's working on her home designs, we have furniture now nationwide. It's a thing of beauty to see her working with her colleagues and rolling up the sleeves and coming up with ideas, ideating, as they say. and breaking it down. We have an olive oil now that's in 1,900 stores and moving across the country because we felt it was very important to have a healthy component to our business and the business model that we're developing as part of lifestyle.
And it's been well accepted, and so I'm working on some new oils, some walnut oil, sesame seed oil. So it's, these are items that are healthy, and we've got one of my key initiatives is to talk about health and wellness to our community.
Right.
I've worked on a program, diabetes-friendly program, and it's important that people understand it's not just the foods you eat; it's getting exercise, it's moving, and it has to really get to be a part of who you are in your soul, because you're nothing if you don't have good health.
With that, you're absolutely right. Health should be primary. And folks, I'm glad she said that, because we talk about wealth in this show. And, for those who listen every week, I talk about wealth building. But wealth, I say again, has many facets. You've got financial wealth, but then you got health wealth. You got relationship wealth. Mm-hmm. You've got wealth of your family and friends.
Spiritual wealth. You have to have spiritual wealth.
And you have to have spiritual wealth.
And that doesn't mean any one particular religion. What it really means is understanding that there's something out there greater than yourself.
That's right.
And that you have to pay homage to that you're just one of many, and how do you make those many better so that you continue the population, continue to make the world better. And so, you have to have a spiritual health, whether you're a Christian, you're a Jew, you're a Muslim, or whatever, Buddhist, whatever. But you got to have a sense of something greater than yourself, and you can't be self-centered.
Right. Well, you guys have done an incredible job. Now, I like what you said. You stalk it, analyze it, go after it, and you go out and make it happen, and y'all meet at the pray. Now, what was the first business y'all had together?
Well, it's so natural. We don't even. It's sort of like it's continuous.
But actually, it was the TV show.
Yeah. Because
the first book I wrote, B. Smith, Entertaining and Cooking for Friends, my husband sold that as the TV show.
Brilliant. I told you he was brilliant. Now that's brilliant.
My goodness.
That's brilliant.
And I'll tell you, and we, like my wife has said about standing on a mountain of no's for one yes, we had a magazine out before Oprah had her magazine, and the very people who turned us down and told us an African-American magazine, a lifestyle magazine, wouldn't sell. And we said, it's not an African-American lifestyle magazine. It's a woman who happens to be African-American who's going to talk about lifestyle, and obviously she's going to include her life, which is from an African-American experience, but it's not just that, because sometimes people like to pigeonhole you.
Oh, no question.
They told us that it wouldn't work. They wouldn't pick it up. We went to American Express, and they picked it up, and they saw how well the magazine was doing. They went out and got Oprah. Now, on the heels of that same company that we went to, American Express Publishing, they were quietly buying Time Warner was quietly buying up Essence magazine, but no one knew, and we were at American Express Publishing, and they canceled our magazine because, once again, you can't have two of the same thing in the same company. Every other company you can, but so when we got canceled, we said to ourselves, we're not going to sell pages anymore. We're going to sell products, and everybody laughed at us. And my wife came out with this idea for one quilt. That was what we call the transcultural and Afrasian, taking Asian and African sensitivities and style and putting it together. And people laughed at us, and Sears and Roebuck and Kmart and JCPenney, they all turned us down. And this one guy believed in us with one quilt, and he had 178 stores, and they were called Bed Bath & Beyond. And now, almost 11 years later, we have 350 items in the store, and they have over 1,000 stores. So, it just goes to show you, when one door closes, you don't stop, or you don't boo-hoo yourself. You just keep moving.
Is that a wow? Is that a wow or what? What an incredible interview. I'm so grateful that I found this interview that I recorded over 10 years ago. and it is still so profound, so much great information, and it is blessing me as I listen to it again and again and again. I encourage you to listen to it, whether you listen to it here on the radio program as we re-air it, or by sometime in the next week or two, it will be on my podcast on iHeart Radio, C-Suite Radio, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. I hope you're also listening to our Happily Married Monday with the Jollies broadcast on Facebook Live every Monday night at 9 o'clock. If you're not, you're missing a great opportunity to grow your relationship. Facebook Live, Monday night, 9 p.m. Look, we're going to be right back after station identification. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show. Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I got an email from a gentleman in Australia who shared how he had been struggling in his business, and he bought some of my books and audios, and how it had a profound impact on his business, and he went from worst to first in his company. I shared with him how much I appreciated his note, but I told him those books, those audios, those videos were not just something that I just thought up one day and thought it to write. They were born out of my experiences, out of the challenges of overcoming the problems and the difficulties and how I was able to do it. And I shared with him that others have sent similar messages and that these resources work. I want to encourage you and invite you to go to my store. Go to wjspeaks.com/shop. wjspeaks.com/shop. Get some of the books. It only takes a minute to change your life. Or a setback is a setup for a comeback. Or turn setbacks into greenbacks. Or chicken soup for the soul. Or an attitude of excellence. Or the book I wrote with my wife after 34 years of being married and not having an argument in over 30 years. We wrote a book called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. And now it is saving marriages all over the globe. Go to the store. Get some of the audios, the videos, the books, the resources to help you have greater personal and professional success. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Make this a great day on purpose. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show, and I am excited that you are able to be a part of this show. Hope you are enjoying this information that is so profound, so uplifting, so inspiring. I am being inspired all over again, and it's been years since I did this interview, over 10 years ago. For those who are just joining us, I'm doing a special tribute interview recap or re-airing of an interview I did about 10 years ago with B. Smith before she became ill, and her husband, Dan Gasby, as they talk about how they built their marriage and built their business to be successful and be an empire. And we've got more powerful information that I don't want to hold you from not 1 second. So we're going to jump right back into it right now. Here we go. The TV show that led to the magazine, you had a setback, but you turned that setback into a comeback. What happened from there?
Well, you know what? When we decided that we didn't have the magazine anymore, we decided we'd sell products. And we had 3 restaurants. We already had the restaurants, but products, and the reason I started with a quilt is because I remember as a small child growing up that my grandmother and my mom had quilts and made quilts. And I thought, well, let me do something that's a modern quilt. And, we knocked on a few doors. We got turned down, but, that big box, that nice Bed Bath & Beyond big box, eventually they understood that it was the thing to do, and it's been a very good relationship since then. We work hard, but we love what we do, and we're passionate, and we do not take no for an answer.
And there's another component to when you talk about success. She does the homework. A lot of people, when we started out 11 years ago in licensing business, you see a lot of, everybody who can sing, everybody who can throw a football or dunk a basket or do whatever, or just be a celebrity because they're celebrities, because they've got a reality TV show. They'll put their name on something, and it can be quicksilver success, but most of it is like chewing gum. All the sweetness is out, and then they just throw it away. And that's because they just stick their name on anything and have no idea of what the history of the business is, have no idea what the products are. I mean, we've been, to the plants. We work intimately. She works on all of the design. Before B. Smith goes on a product, we know it up and down, and we have an idea that there's a need in the industry, or at least we've seen that there's a potential need. And a lot of people who are celebrities, they have, managers and what have you that will stick their name on anything. I mean, recently, a couple of years ago, somebody wanted her to do a gold tooth polish. Now, we're not going to do that.
Absolutely not.
And that leads me right to the importance of branding. And I want y'all to talk about branding because, branding is a word that we're now hearing lots of, but from my experience base, it really is about the reputation and how you are positioned in the marketplace. And how did y'all create a mindset to build such a powerful brand, not just a personal brand, but a mega brand? What did you think? How was the process built? How did you create this thought process?
Having the 3 restaurants, starting with 1, and then when Dan and I got together, then we went to 2, and we went to 3, and you never know how many more we're going to go to. But we had the foundation. That's one of the most important things people don't really understand is you've got to have a foundation, and it has to be a solid foundation. So we were already known as businesses where you could go to be entertained, where you could go for special events, where you could bring your clients. So it was already a positive venture when we got together, and then we just grew that. And then we continued with the TV show. Starting with that book that I first did, Entertaining and Cooking for Friends, which I still love. And today I know a lot of people bring that book out because it's got a really wonderful Kwanzaa celebration in it. And 'tis the season from the 26th to January 1st. So that book was the beginning of everything for us. When Dan sold that book as a TV show, that was beginning, and we're talking about a new show now.
Yeah, we're working right now. We've just partnered with a very high-powered agent who sees a whole unique new opportunity for B. Smith to do something. And remember, when that show came on back in 1997, it was groundbreaking. First of all, it was in lifestyle is what Julia was to television in prime time. Here's an African-American woman who's decidedly, beautiful, who knows how to cook, knows how to entertain. She's not doing the hey girl thing, and she can talk to everybody about everything and with ease, and she was authentic. And so, she was the first person to really not wear smocks on television, but to be color coordinated with their guests. She was the first person that, introduced, the idea that you don't have to have a PhD to make a dish. She never talked down to people the way some people do, or made them feel that if you didn't do this, you were somehow less than perfect. And so, that began the wonderful lifestyle odyssey. And as far as branding goes, what we understand is you have to, if you're going to brand anything, you have to take yourself and put yourself out on a board and say, who are you? And define what you stand for.
Without a question.
And our brand is about positivity. It is a feel-good brand. We are not about negativity.
And our mission statement, we understood, long before Barack came on the scene, and I mean this very positively, it was about bringing diverse groups of people together under one stylish umbrella. That's what B. Smith is about. It's about transcultural. It's not about just talking about the African-American experience. It's about understanding others' experiences and taking your experience as an African American and blending and mixing it to give its own unique appeal and flavor. And so that created the template for how we developed our products. And to today, if you look at a B. Smith product, you'll know it's a B. Smith product. You'll see the aphrasion. You'll see a certain wow factor. You'll see certain embellishments. You'll see certain things that suggest, wow, I wouldn't mind sitting next to her on an airplane at 30,000 feet. I wouldn't be intimidated. And by the time we landed, we're buddies. That's what our product speaks to. It's about bringing different groups of people together under one stylish umbrella.
Ooh, I love that. And that's exactly what you have done. You've done it with such class. Now, here's the word that I think that defines B. Smith and y'all's whole brand: class and style. Class and style and elegance. And, people need to see elegance, and they need to go to the restaurant and experience elegance. They need to see it in the fact that if they see nothing else, just go to the restaurant, folks, and look on the walls going to the restrooms. And the pictures and the way they are positioned, elegance. Everything has a touch and a flair about it that is fantastic. Folks, I'm excited about just getting there, and every time I get there, I want to go back to just get that feeling again. It's about positivity. You're listening to B. Smith and her brilliant husband, Dan Gasby, on the Willie Jolley Show. They've been on everybody else's show, but they're on my show now, and I'm excited. Don't worry about the fact that things don't always work perfectly and that all your ducks are not lined up together. Go before you're ready and give your best and enjoy the process. As one of my friends said, expect the best, prepare for the worst, and celebrate it all. Oh, that's the truth. I want to give a shout out to my good buddy, Les Brown. Talked to him earlier today, and I'm grateful for his continue to tell people about my latest book, Turn Setbacks into Greenbacks. He called me to say he had just had a conversation with someone about it, and they were excited because Michelle Singletary made it the book of the month, and we're excited about the response because it is impacting people, helping them get through these tough economic times. My guest today, the one and only B. Smith and her brilliant, I keep saying brilliant husband, Dan Gasby, because Dan and I, we were at a fundraiser for youth who were going to play golf, and we started talking, and I said, wow, this guy is just brilliant. I mean, I was so empowered and inspired after talking to him. And then I developed a friendship with the two of them, and I've seen them at different events, and we've talked, and they're always together. They're always smiling, hugging, and sharing love, not only with each other, but with everybody around them. And you get that flavor when you go into their restaurant. And so I am grateful that they were able to make time today. Thank y'all again for being on. And I know we've been trying for a while, but thank y'all so much for making time in your schedule.
Good things come to those who wait, and we're honored to be on your show, Willie.
We certainly are, and we really admire what you've done and what you continue to do.
I'm grateful,
You said something very important about giving back. What you were speaking about, we met at the First Tee event at our restaurant in Washington, D.C., and that's an excellent thing for young people to learn. The golf teaches them discipline. It's athletic, believe it or not, when you've got to walk and move across 8,000 or 9,000 yards of terrain, and it teaches you so many different aspects about how to team building, working together, analyzing things, using math to make shots. And my wife and I, we both believe not only First Tee, but other, charitable causes. I'm a trustee at American University. I mean, she sits on boards. And
I'm a member of the Links and have been for a long time, and we work with the community and really love working closely with the kids.
Wow.
Fantastic. That's really important. One of the other things that has been great in our life along with that, we work with General Mills. Mm-hmm. I'm like on a 500 million cornbread and muffin mix and biscuits, containers. And, it's also about kids understanding that the bar is set high.
Yes.
And, through their, they can reach their dreams. They can see what other people who with positive, relationships and businesses, and they can say, I can do that.
No question.
And I want them to say, I can do that and even better.
Wow. That's the kind of inspiration that people who are givers, as I said earlier in one of the other hours, not how did you die, but how did you live? Not what did you get, but what did you give?
That's right.
And so you guys are givers, and you are consistently giving. Wow.
is not how you died, but how did you live? Is not what did you take, but what were you willing to give? What were you willing to give? And this now, in retrospect, is so profound because B. Smith has transitioned, has passed on, but she lived with such passion to bless others, to make a difference, and to live her dreams. How you died is not as important as how did you live, not what did you take, but what did you give. And so now in retrospect, that's so profound. Well, for those joining us, this is a special tribute program, an interview I did over a decade ago with B. Smith and her husband, Dan Gasby. And I am excited that I found it when I heard about her transitioning, and I reached out to Dan and let him know I sent love his way. And then I said, you know what? It would be great to have this for people to be able to be inspired again and again and again. We're going to take another quick break. We've got one more segment. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show. And for sure, your best is yet to come. We'll be right back.
Friendship is not about being convenient. It's about being committed and consistent. You can call on me when you need me. You can call on me. Call me. You can call on me. Pick up the phone. You can call and call me.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and people often ask, how did I go from a broke, busted nightclub singer to become a best-selling author and to be voted one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world by the 175,000 members of Toastmasters International? The answer is that I decided to invest and change my thinking, invest in my mindset, and decided to change my inputs because inputs determine outputs. I heard about a seminar years ago when I was just getting started. I was making about $100 a speech. And I heard this seminar that was creating millionaires, and it cost $10,000, but the guy was getting results. I didn't have that kind of money, but I decided to borrow it because I learned that there's a price for success, the price of college, the price of going to school, the price of education. And there's a price for success, and then there's a cost for not paying the price, the cost of staying the same. And that cost is greater than the price. It's too expensive. And so I went, and it changed my life. And I came back and quickly made $100,000. I heard a similar story from Dr. Dave Martin, how he went to a success rally, heard a speaker who inspired him. He and his friends said, wow, that's changed my life. The speaker had a package of materials to help build wealth. The package cost $1,500. And that was all the money Dr. Dave had to his name. Dr. Dave's friend asked, do you think this stuff is worth it? Dr. Dave thought for a moment. He said, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But I do know that I'm worth it. I'm worth it. He invested that money in that package and used the materials to grow his thinking. He grew his mindset. He shared how that $1,500 investment has gone on to generate millions in revenues. He's a multimillionaire. And he has homes now in Arizona and Florida. I want to say to you, it's time to invest in you. I want to give you some materials that will help you, grow your mindset, grow your future, grow your finances. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire. wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get some materials that will inspire your success and will help you find that there's a price for success, but there's a cost for not paying the price. And the cost is always greater than the price. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire and get the bag, the box, or any of the materials there and keep growing your wealth. And remember, as a man thinketh, so as he is, and your best is yet to come. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I am grateful you are with me on this program today. I hope you are enjoying this as much as I'm enjoying it. And I hope that you're being inspired. There was one quote that B said just a little bit earlier in the last segment. She said, we've had great success. We've done big things, but I hope this will inspire you, the listener, to do even bigger and greater things than we've done. We want to show it's possible. And if we show you it's possible, then we want you to take what we've given you and what we've shared and what we've learned and make bigger and greater success in your personal life and in your professional life. Wow. That is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And so I hope you're enjoying this. I'm going to jump back in. And then at the end of this next segment, I'm going to go through some of the notes I've taken, some of the things I've learned. I hope you will be able to grasp as much as I've grasped. And if you didn't, I want to make sure you got a lot of good pearls, as I like to say, in this interview. We're going to jump right back in right now with this special interview that I did with my dear friend B. Smith, God bless her soul, and her husband, Dan Gasby, as they were at the top of their game in terms of radio, television, restaurants, products and stores, and how you can take and glean from their success and their lessons to grow your success and your wealth. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and we're jumping right back in with my interview with B. Smith and Dan Gasby.
I want y'all to give people, as we try and give people some closing thoughts in this interview, if you were going to sit in front of a class of maybe college students or entrepreneurs, young budding entrepreneurs, what are the secrets for success that you would just share with them?
Honey, you want to start?
Yeah. I could tell you that my secret for success is to never give up. It's I don't care what it is, do not give up. And the other most important thing is if you need to do your homework. There are adults out here who come up to us and say, "Oh, well, I would like to open a restaurant." Well, it doesn't. That's not how it happens. You have to understand what the business is, know the business, have either worked in the business or start working in the business so that you can know whether you want to be in it.
It's always amazing, and she's so right, that somebody will say, I want to open a restaurant, and Sweetie will say, well, have you ever worked in a restaurant? Have you ever cooked for more than your family? And they'll go, no. And then you'll look at them, well, what makes you think you're going to be able to do it? Everything looks easy. Everything always, Saturday night at a restaurant when it's packed, you're making dollars hand over fist. But what about Monday when there's nobody there or there's a snowstorm and you've got a payroll? People don't understand. Everybody shouldn't be an entrepreneur because it's like surfing on a razor blade at times.
Yeah.
It is when a bad week and the dishwasher made more money than you because everything came in and everything went out.
Right.
The highs are very high and the lows are very low.
Yes. Now, you said something, Dan. It looks easy. It looks easy when you are competent and you know what you're doing. It's like my wife says, it's like the duck. The duck on the water is gliding along, but under the water they are working like the little. The feet are moving.
Those web feet are kicking.
Yeah. So when you're good and you're good at what you do, when you're good and you're on TV, it looks so effortless. But we know that you prepared before that. You did some study. You read. You did your homework.
Exactly.
And Dan, you've done the building and the programming and the producing of the shows. It looks effortless. Oh, look, he just flowed in and everything went well. But they didn't see the work you did before.
They didn't see all the prep.
That's right.
They
didn't see standing on that mountain of no's for one yes.
Ooh, that's a powerful line, folks. I'm telling you, standing on the mountain of no's for one yes. That's powerful because you've got to be willing to keep asking, don't you?
That's right.
You know what?
Ain't too proud to beg.
Uh-huh.
You know what? You look at it, and people. The biggest thing that I would tell young people is really, at times you've got to leave everyone alone to get your dream accomplished. because people are always going to see you where you were, not where you're going. And if I was sitting in front of a group of high schoolers, I would tell them, there's one of you here that's going to be more successful than anyone ever imagined, and there's one of you that's going to be the biggest failure. Now, which one would you rather be? You're going to be the biggest disappointment. And the reason is, if you take shortcuts, and if you don't think before you feel and judge certain things, you're going to be that way. If you're going to be a follower, or you're going to be around people doing less, you're going to do even more of less. And you want to try to stay around people who are doing more, because they're going to light your path and show you and make you think. And if you learn to listen more than you talk, you'll learn more about how to do things and watch what other people are watching. Then you'll understand how they think. Those are the things I would tell some young people.
Got it. Now, I want to jump back just for a minute where we started. Two things, ideating and relationship, because these are powerful. We only got a couple more minutes, but ideating, how do y'all do it?
We bring ideas to each other. Mm-hmm. And we go back and forth and we talk about it and we do homework. If we've got to do a little research, we do the research. But we have a collaboration.
Yep. We get up, and every morning I try to go through as many newspapers. I listen to the news. I'm walking down the street. She'll look at something, and she'll say, "What do you think of that?" And then we'll start a conversation about, okay, what about that? Oh, well, that, and then and it starts from a spark. It's, there are no new ideas. It's just the ability to implement them.
Because everything old can be new again.
Say that one more time, B.
Everything old can be new again.
That's powerful.
Particularly with ideas and new ways to do things, new ways to present things. It's just about using your mind and understanding that all around you there are things going on that you can take from.
Hey, the greatest cookie that ever was made hasn't been made yet, because there's going to be one made soon that's going to be better than the one that was made before. So it's that's what life is. It's a transformation. It's looking at something and seeing how you can put a spin on it, or make it better, or make it different. And that comes from having a passion for life. That whole thing about being healthy, it goes back to that. It goes about not thinking of you as the most important thing, being able to humble yourself, a servant of God, understanding that respect to nature if it's not God, because no one person has the right answer, but if you love life, whatever your religion, and you're passionate, and you don't harbor these insecurities about worrying about what other people have, then ideas really start to flow. Or if somebody does something and it's better than yours, or it gets more recognition. My wife and I have never, ever envied anyone.
That's big. That's huge.
We have never, ever counted anyone else's money. The only way I can count somebody's money is if I can feel their pain. And so we walk through this world understanding we're just going to put as much in as we can and take some out.
That's awesome. You two are just a breath of fresh air, and I am grateful to have had the opportunity to have you on my show. And I believe that people who are going to hear this over the years as we replay it, or that they're going to be blessed. So thank y'all for taking time. Stay tuned. Hold on after this is over, because I want to have a quick moment off air with you. But I just want y'all to just say to everybody who's listening, B. Smith and Dan Gasby are what they seem to be. They are people who trust God and live the best life. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Willie, from the bottom of my heart, and I know Sweetie will concur, hey, thank you, and keep doing what you're doing.
Wow. I can say, honestly, this is one of my favorite interviews and one of the greatest gifts that I've been blessed with, to be able to go back and listen to this interview with B. Smith when she was not ill, and she gave such great content. Let's go over a few of the things that I learned in this interview. First, about relationships. Do you like who you love? It's not about ego, it's about how we go. I love when they said that the best relationship in theirs is about a 40-40 relationship. Each party gets 40% and the 20 swings back and forth, so that no one is in control or has all the power, but both people get access to power. Don't take your disagreements to bed. So when you wake up, you can be on one page and you can be focused on moving forward as one unit with a mindset to win. And I loved it. He said about lust and trust, and I mentioned that, and have laughter and love and have fun together. I like ideating. That's a great word, that you look for ideas. You think about ideas. Well, so many great ideas that came from this. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you took notes. Visit this again. Listen to it again. It's a lot of great content that comes from this. You can't catch it in one airing. You got to listen over and over again. Listen to the podcast. If you're not on my podcast, subscribe to my podcast. Go to Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast on iHeartRadio, C-Suite Radio, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Join me Monday nights, 9 o'clock on Jolly Marriage, on our Happily Married Monday with the Jollies on Facebook Live, Willie.Jolly. And go and get some of my product. Go to williejolly.com/billionaire. williejolly.com/billionaire. Order the box. That's what I recommend, the box. All of my resources over the many years that will bless you. And if you can't afford the box, then get the bag. One or the other. williejolly.com/billionaire. Look, it's been a great day, a great interview. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. And for sure, your best is yet to come. Have a great week. Bye.
Are you tired of crying and complaining? Tired of feeling like life don't treat you fair? Do you see so many others moving on while you're steady going nowhere? Have you maybe come to the conclusion that there's nothing? Well, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and I hope you got something of great value. And I hope that you were inspired, you were motivated, you were empowered, and you were encouraged to live your best life. I hope this information and this inspiration will help you to do more, be more, and to achieve more. That's the goal why I started this program, and I hope it helped you in a mighty way. Now, I ask you to make sure and that you take full advantage of all the resources that came through this program. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/gift and get some of the free resources that we have there for you. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/shop to get some of the books that we have created, that we've labored over to make sure that they will deliver a powerful message to you. I hope you go to williejolly.com/billionaire, williejolly.com/billionaire, or wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get the box, that it will inspire your whole family, or get the bag of books. Make this a great day, a great week, a great month. And remember, it is true that you are blessed and all things are possible for them that believe. So make the most of the belief that you have now in your future. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Have a great day.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.